Hello, Libra. This is your reading for the week of March 17th, or whenever you hear this and it resonates. Of course, it will not be for every Libra. So, Libra, as I was getting ready for this, I was seeing you flying, but you are not a bird. You are actually wearing a pair of mechanical wings that are structured with this beautiful heavy canvas and this balsa wood or some kind of wood that you can manage. But it's literally like you're out there flying almost the way you would if it were parasailing, except that you're able to go great distances and you are on wings. It's not some kind of a parachute. You literally have wings. What I'm seeing as you're flying is that the wind is moving you, you're catching the curves, and you've been feeling somewhat freer. What you're being cautioned by here is to not panic if you have to make an adjustment. That's a natural part of the course. You can get very excited about having ventured far enough in your growth to really feel the freedom and to be excited by that. And what you're being told is not to let yourself get taken down when there needs to be a course correction. That's a part of the flight. And part of what you're learning how to do now is to negotiate that. And to negotiate that in a way that is unique to you. This is, sometimes it's as though you're waiting for somebody to tell you what the right way is or what the right way should be. But what these cards are saying to me, and what Spirit is saying now as I'm getting shivers all down my legs, is that you have creativity in you. You've got great creativity in you. And you also have the capacity for great discipline. The difference is now what they're saying is it's important for you to use your discipline for those life-enhancing attitudes and to maintain those statements that you use on yourself, the self-talk, to keep yourself literally elevated, and to not suddenly, because you need some kind of course correction, think that you've done something wrong. You are learning how to navigate the air that is you, and that is emotion, and that is movement. It all goes together. And one of the key cards that you've got here is love. And that is the reminder that within you, when you center in your heart, when you really allow yourself to be in that state of love, that you are tapped into a huge power. It is the power of life. It is the power of the source, of the divine. And that you have the ability to feel that. And that's one of the things that you've been growing in, is your ability to feel that. Some of you have gone through some really intense grieving. And it might be for a relationship. It might be grieving, leaving the past behind. But grief is a very powerful and a very healing emotion because it opens the heart. So many of you who are listening to this, who have gone through processing grief in some way, have been able to use this as a way to feel more deeply all your emotions. And Libra, feeling your emotions is one of the ways that you know when you need to course correct. So again, this is a beautiful thing. This is a beautiful stage to be at, because it's really only as we start learning how to feel where we need to course correct and do it lovingly without criticism ourselves for needing to course correct, that we can really start creating, and not just creating, but learning how to flow with the path that our heart is telling us to take. And that is where you also, being in that state of love and that deep love, in that love that is love for the sake of love, and not because, not a person, not a thing, but that sacred love, that connection and awareness of the connectivity of everything and all beings, is that when you're in that, when you can remember to tune into that, remember that that is your core frequency, is that it's very, very hard to be mean to yourself. And it's much easier to soften into feeling, because that love, there's a strength to that. There's a strength and the ability for that frequency to create coherence between your heart and your mind, between you and everything. And so that's what allows you then to really understand more easily, without the struggle, how to be able to navigate and negotiate movement, which is what you need. Libra, you need to be, you are an air sign. All air signs, everybody needs movement. If there's no movement, there's stagnation. And ultimately, life needs movement. So with you, dear Libras, you are an air sign. What the point with Libra, often what the balance needs to be, is getting it out of that staticky kind of movement, which stays stationary. It's like a motility where it just moves within this one little area and doesn't move this way. So what we need is we need to be able to have this kind of energy soften enough so that it can spread and move and direct, so that as you allow that, if that were your nervous system calming down enough so that you can feel something other than agitation, other than fear, other than anxiety. Because once you do that, then now you have the ability to direct your movement, to feel where you need to move, and to let yourself go there. So this is actually beautiful, because you know what? You need that if you're going to take off. That's part of what the taking off is about. Interestingly enough, the taking off part is about learning how to be grounded. Now, grounded in your nervous system, and that means not being all up in here, but being through your whole body, and being through your whole body in a way where you can feel, where you can identify, where you can appreciate the environment around you and notice what you need to do in order to be well within it or to change it. Okay? Libra, this is a really powerful point of change for you, and you've done an awful lot of work to get to this point. So kudos to you, because you've got all of the elements here. The thing that you are being cautioned about is to remember that you can get caught up in thoughts and in loops that are not necessarily helpful, that kind of keep you in this as opposed to in this. And that if you can create some kind of structure for yourself, some kind of ritual for yourself that is easy enough to follow, and I don't mean that in any kind of condescending way. If anything is too complicated for any of us, it's much harder to integrate into our daily life. So whatever you can do to create a structure that fits easily into your daily life, your daily habits, your daily routine, that allows you to also, in that structure, spend the time to acknowledge whatever cognitive distortions are getting in the way, whatever negative statements that you're making that you're stating as fact but are not true, that are not true. So for example, I'm afraid that I will, no, I'm going to go back to my really easy one. I have nothing to wear. Well, yes, actually you do. You just don't want to wear what you're wearing. So the cognitive distortion is, I have nothing to wear. So you can do that around anything in life. Make it an absolute statement as though it's a fact when it's just a feeling or just an observation, okay? So look out for any cognitive distortions which are designed to kind of take you down, which are negative in any way, which are limiting and constricting for you, okay? And use this structure, create a structure so that you can check in with that and that you can remember, create this. This is part of it. You have many creative abilities here. You have got many, many creative options in terms of not just how you live creativity in perhaps an artistic way, but creativity in terms of how you choose to create a loving structure with a discipline that is about you loving yourself and supporting and nurturing your own well-being and your own positive self-image, okay? You've got the love card here. You have got creativity. You've got the ability to discipline yourself. you've actually done it in many different ways. It's kind of, a lot of the discipline that you've used has been more out of a self-punishment and an enforcement of a rule, rather than a discipline to say, you know what? Yeah, my discipline is going to be about taking care of myself and nurturing me, right? You can feel sometimes in the process of change, as you're moving from this into this, that you don't feel like you've got what you need to do it, but you do, because you are very, very connected to a loving heart, and you are very, very connected to that sacred power that exists in every cell, that is the ground substance of who you are. And you are being reminded, progress does not have to hurt. You are not noble if you are in pain. You can enjoy your life. You can have fun. It can be easy. Choose to let it be that. And then the things that you need to do to move out of your life are going to happen. Okay? There you go, my dear Libras. Take care, my loves.